Yo, what is good everybody? It's your boy the Strongest Wizard, and today we are back with another OP02 deck profile, which is my boy Smoker right here. I actually have a lot of faith in this guy and in this color, so yeah, let's dive in. Alright guys, it's time to get into this deck profile of Smoker here. And if you guys don't know, it's a brand new archetype, brand new color to the One Piece card game. And when you have one Dawn attached to him, you get to activate main once per turn, of course. You give one of your opponent's characters -1 cost. And then if they have a character with 0 cost on the board, this leader gets a +1k. Very good ability, being able to kind of sweet spot a lot of the characters, making them lower down their cost, to being able to remove them on the board, things of that nature. Of course, it is, since it is monocolor, it is 5k 5 life. I guess the exception would be Whitebeard, because he's 6k 6 life. Anyways, all right, so let's get into this deck profile here. We're going to be going over from the bottom the 1 cost, and we have Granny here. And Granny is a 1 cost 0, and with a 2k counter. And pretty much what she does is you give one of your on play, you give one of your opponent's characters -2 cost during this turn. Honestly, I feel like she's just a really good 2k counter. Her ability can come in clutch sometimes, but -2 cost on a character is pretty good. It's okay. 3 is better, but you know, it is what it is. It's mainly a 2k counter, I think. And second card here we have, which that's the only 1 cost counter, 1 cost card that we play. The second card that we're going to be running is Corazon. He's a 2 cost, 2k power, 1k counter, and he's just a blocker. Run of the mill, just another 2 cost, 2k blocker. Nothing too crazy. Next card here we have is Garp here. And real quick, the reason why we're running any low cost blockers at all is because this deck does take some time to set up, which is the unfortunate part. Being able to rush this or control this deck is the weakness of it, and we really got to make sure that we're able to you know, survive long enough to make all of our plays happen. So that we have Garp here. He's another 2 cost 3k power character here with a 2k counter, which is extremely relevant. And pretty much when you have 2 Dawn attached to him, when attacking, KO to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 0. Pretty good. Honestly, majority of the time he's probably a 2k counter from hand, but his ability does come in handy sometimes. I think more often than not, I think with this meta is it's so extremely fast that I think doing this ability is just takes too long, and having 2 Dawn attached to him to use his ability is kind of a lot. I mean, I know that he becomes a 5k, you're gonna be able to swing at the majority of leaders with 5k, but still 2k counter really relevant. And like I said, I guess the ability is really good against Zoro, but even then you pop 1 next turn, he's going to go down because Zoro has too many cards that can remove him. So just a possibility. And here we have 3 2 cost Helms here. He's a 3k power, 2 cost, 1k counter. On play, give one of your opponent's characters -3 for the turn, for the cost. And it's just like a Granny, but just better. The additional 1 is extremely relevant. Really good in the ability. You're never going to play this card to attack. You're usually going to play this card to use mainly its ability, and then afterwards maybe get some chip damage. Next card we have is 3 more. It's Tashigi. And she's just another 2k counter card, essentially. She's 3 costs, 4k power, 2k counter. And then activate main, you may rest this card to give up to one of your opponent's characters -2 during this turn. So technically speaking, you can use her ability multiple times. But like I said, I don't think I've ever used her main ability. It's mainly just for the 2k counter. Next, we have a full playset of 4 of the OP02 Smoker. This card's really, really good. It's a 3/4 with a 1k 1000 counter, and it cannot be KO'd by effects. No jet pistol, no other smoker abilities like Garp can't kill it. You have to manually swing into it to kill it, and it has an ability when attacking. If there is a 0 cost character on your opponent's side of the field, it actually gains plus 2k. What's really awesome about this, you don't have to have any Dawn attached to him at all. If you're able to get your I don't know, a Bonnie to 0, which is extremely easy. Mainly, even you could even use that ability with Smoker, getting it down to 0 from 1 to 0. Without attaching any Dawn, he becomes a 6k block, 6k attacker, which is really, really nice. Really good turn 2 play if you're going first. But yeah, really, really good card. Next, here we have some removal, which is actually going to be our 3 cost 4k power Kobe here, 1k counter. And on play, you get to trash 1 card from your hand to KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 3 or less. Very good card. You really have to save your Kobe's. There's a couple ways to remove cards, and this is one of the main ones. And yeah, unfortunately, you do have to pitch a card, but it is really good. Next card here, we have 4 of the 4 cost Kuzans. He's a 4/5/0 counter, and on play, draw 1 card. Extremely cool, just because you get to replenish the same card that you put down. And then when attacking, you can give up to one of your opponent's characters -4 cost during this turn. Extremely good. Extremely good. He's really good. Unfortunately, he gets suspended by Ezo, which really sucks, but that's just the way of the 4 cost, man. You can't go around that. Borsalino is our next card. We're gonna have 4 copies of this bad boy. He's a 4/5k with a 1k counter. Opponent's turn, he gains plus 1k, and it cannot be KO'd by effects as well. So we kind of have a bit of a theme. Smoker and Borsalino cannot be KO'd by effects, and he's a blocker. So on your opponent's turn, he's 6k, and yeah, very good. He can be jet pistoled, activating 1 main. If you do swing into life and you do hit a pistol, he can die for sure. So just remember that. We're running 1 copy of the brand new Smoker from the starter deck here. He's a 5 cost 7k power. His ability, also like Smokers, he can be KO'd by effects, and then when you attach 1 Dawn to him, making him 8k, if there's a character with a cost of 0 on your opponent's side of the field, he gains double attack, which is really good. Unfortunately, he has 0 counter. He's kind of expensive. 5/7 is a good stat line, but I'm actually running something else more in numbers for a few other matchups, but that is Smoker. And next 5 costs is we're running actually 2 Hinas. I don't see anybody, at least I don't see that many people running Hinas. I think Hina's a really good card. She's a 5 cost, 6k power, very similar to Smoker with the 1k counter, and she's also a blocker. And on block, you can select up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less, and that character can attack until the end of the turn. Very good against Zoro, very good against Law, very good against a lot of decks, honestly. Really, really good. It forces your opponent to play kind of around this, making sure that they swing with the active character first before swinging with the leader. Because if they swing with the leader first and you block, then you can make it so that the second character or the other character can attack. And 6 cost is really high, honestly. It literally stops everything that you see here before you to attack. So pretty good. Next card we have is Mr. Magma himself. He's a 6 cost, 7k power, no counter, But his on play here is you get to trash 1 card from your hand and KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. This is really good. You can pretty much KO up to anything. In addition to any of the other cards. So if you hit a helm and you drop this man down, you're popping things that are 8 cost or lower. That's 7 cost kid. That's 8 cost kid. The numbers just go up and up with a couple of other cards that we're going to see here, which is going to be our last character here, which is these 3 copies of the secret Kuzan in OP02. He's a 10 cost, 10k power. On your turn, you get to it's a passive effect that happens all the time on your turn, giving all of your opponent's characters -5 cost, and then on play you can KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 0. So for example here, Hina is a 5 cost character. I drop Kuzan. She goes from a 5 to a 0, and his ability pops off, making it so that I can remove a 0 cost character from the board for free, which is Hina right there. Also, which is Law, Zoro, Luffy, Yamato, just a ton of different characters that use this ability. And then once you have Kuzan out, there's like almost no way to remove him. People have to do double Otama plus pistol to get rid of him. He's extremely hard to get rid of, and extremely good. He just stays on the board. Once you have the 10 done, you just slap that boy down, and you really get to work. I honestly feel like the game is completely changed once he's on the board. So. Actually our first event card here, which is Meteor Volcano here. It's an OP02. It's a 2 cost main, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 1 or less. Extremely easy to do this with cards like Kuzan, even Smoker. Helm is very easy to make this happen. This Kuzan is extremely easy as well. It's 1 or less, so you swing with Kuzan, making an opponent's Law or Luffy from a 5 cost down to a 1. Then you play this, pop it, easy. Really good. It does have a trigger ability. You draw 2 cards and trash 1 card from your hand. So it's essentially kind of like a +1, because you draw 2, trash 1, you have 1 left. Yeah, pretty good. I've actually been debating to run this at a higher copy amount, but yeah, we'll talk about it afterwards. And then last card in the deck, which is Shockwave, which is really weird to me because I thought it was Impact Wave, because on the simulator it says Impact Wave. I just saw this literally right now. I'm kind of mind blown. It's a 2 cost event card here, which has a counter ability, giving up to one of your leader or character cards plus 4k power during this turn. Then it KOs up to 1 character with a cost of 3 or less, but the character actually has to be active, which is the unfortunate part, but it just forces your opponent to play around this card. When you leave 2 active Dawn, even bluffing it, it's actually really good. It's good against Law, it's good against Zoro. It's just a really good card, honestly. And it does have a trigger ability, which allows you to KO an opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less, suspended or active. This does not matter in the trigger effect. So really good. Now, things that I would change, I kind of want to go up on the Tashigi, and in doing so, I'd have to get rid of things. Right now, I'm messing with these numbers right here. I honestly feel like these are the only flex spots in the deck right now. Maybe the Meteor Volcano. I do not think you need more than 3 of Kuzan. I always see it all the time. It's never, if anything, I usually pitch him, honestly, for fodder, because you honestly only need 1. I feel like if you got 2 out, it's just kind of like overkill. I don't know how you lose if you have 2 out, but everything else is really solid. I don't see myself changing anything else. But like I said, these 3 cards, maybe these event cards right here, finding some space for a 4th Tashigi, maybe. yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this deck profile. I really appreciate you guys watching, and stay tuned because I have a ton of new OP02 content coming out soon. See ya!